This week I made a cereal mega cake, like cereal as in the box, as opposed to cereal like S-E-R-I-A-L.
What would that be?
Well, I'm a cereal mega cake maker. I'm really boring. My favorite cereal is like Raisin Bran.
What?
Yeah, even when I was a kid. Thank you to Ercan for sponsoring this video. For the inside of this cake, I actually decided to make velvet cake. I made 2 batches and I dyed 1 pink and 1 yellow. I've made pink velvet cake before, most famously on my watermelon cake, and I've made red velvet for my brain cake. So for this cereal cake, I thought I'm gonna use that same recipe, but I'm gonna dye 1 batch pink and 1 batch yellow to match the cereal. My cakes have been baked, cooled, and chilled, but there's something else we need to make to put inside these cakes. Cereal discs. I was trying to think of a better name, but I really can't think of one. So I'm making 2 cereal discs out of 2 colorful, sugary cereals that I'm using, 1 for each tier of cake. These cereal layers are made like any other cereal treat, just by melting some butter, marshmallows, and then dumping in your cereal. And I set them in the same size pans that I baked my cakes in. So I'm making 1 disc out of Fruit Loops for one of the layers of cake, and the other disc out of Timbit cereal, which, if you're not Canadian, is basically like a donut hole cereal.
Yeah, I think you're right, Yo. We have to work on the cereal disc name.
Yeah, no, we need something else. Crunchy disc? No.
I think the problem is the disc.
Oh. The thing is, it needs to be shaped like a disc in order to fit into your cake. This is very important. So, now with my baked, cooled, and chilled cakes, I'm going to level them as always, remove the caramelization from the bottom, cut each cake into 2 layers, and then remove the caramelization from the sides. I get asked a lot about caramelization. I have nothing against caramelization. It's just, when I make a cake that's colorful, that's what I want to shine through. So as colorful and bright as it is on the outside, when you cut in, that's what I want you to see. I don't want your eye to be drawn to the brown line on the side or the top or the bottom of the cake. Each cake will have pink and yellow velvet layers, and I have to tell you something else. There's no simple syrup in this cake. Instead of using simple syrup on this cake, I'm gonna use something that many people like, not including me, which is cereal milk. Making cereal milk is really simple. All I did was take 3 cups of cereal and then I poured 3 cups of milk on top. I'm using whole milk, 3.25%, and just let your cereal soak. Like, you never want your cereal to get soggy, but in this case, you're waiting until it gets soggy. And then I strained it through a sieve just to get all that milk out. You can even whisk it in the sieve to make sure all the milk comes out. And then I strained it again. Try to use a fine sieve or even a nut milk bag or cheesecloth or anything like that, because Sir Squeeze is not here for the cereal crumbs in his nozzle. So 1 cake is dedicated to the fruity cereal and 1 cake is dedicated to the donut flavored cereal. The cereal milks are pretty much impossible to tell apart, so make sure you remember which one's which. Now I'm gonna fill and stack these cakes with Italian meringue buttercream. I'm alternating the colorful layers, and then I'm putting the cereal layers in the middle and continuing to stack. Once my cakes are stacked, I'm going to crumb coat them and chill them. See, some things remain the same. While my cakes are chilling, I'm going to place about a cup of each cereal into my food processor, 1 at a time, not together, and blend them into crumbs. You're not gonna believe what I'm gonna do next. Not only did I intentionally make crumbs, I'm now gonna intentionally fold those crumbs into Italian meringue buttercream. I mean, you're thinking like, why did she even bother crumb coating and chilling? But let me be clear. Even in this case, I don't want cross-colored crumb contamination. I crumb coated to keep the cake crumbs down. I only want to see cereal crumbs in the buttercream.
Crumb discrimination, I might say.
I'm a crummy person. That's really crummy of me. Now I'm gonna ice each one of my cakes with the appropriate crummy buttercream. I felt really free as I was icing though, because I was like, oh, they're supposed to be there. But this was a really new feeling for me. I don't know if I'm gonna ever do it again. And I still used a bench scraper to smooth my buttercream. They are very, very fine crumbs in the buttercream, so the buttercream still feels smooth as you're icing your cake. Thank goodness. I'm gonna let these cakes chill for a little bit because I'm decorating the outside with my cereal. If the buttercream is too soft, as you add your cereal, it will just smush, and we don't wanna see that. But we also don't wanna chill it so far that the cereal won't stick.
Yo, did you go through each piece of cereal? And
I don't think you can understand. I wanted to do it ahead of time, but then I ran out of time. But then as I was decorating the cake, I was like, nope. I'm gonna begin with my fruity cereal, and that's the larger cake tier. And what I want to do is basically create stripes with the loops. Because, you know, I thought these are loops. I've clearly got to put them in a straight line. That makes sense.
That's the natural thing you do with loops.
With something round, you straighten it. I also used a ruler to help me line up the loops, and I alternated the colors as I lined up my stripes on the cake. As you guys know, most of my cakes take a long time. Even the ones that don't look like they did, absolutely did. So when I'm working really hard and I need to focus, I sometimes like to zone out with music. It's just the only way I can get through it. So while I'm working, I like to pop in my Ercan earbuds. They're noise isolating, so all I hear is my music, and then I just get into the groove. And I am someone who was always worried to get on the wireless earbud train because I knew my hair would pull them out. I thought my hair would pull them out. My hair pulls out my regular earphones all the time, and my hoops. Just take a moment for the hoops I've lost. But these earbuds stay in my ear. And even better, Ercan earbuds started about half the price of any other premium wireless earbud on the market. They sound just as amazing as other top audio brands you know. They're great for working from home, working out, listening to music and podcasts for hours and hours, and of course, cake decorating, lining up cereal loops, as I know many of us do. Their everyday E25 earbuds are their best model yet. With 6 hours of playtime, seamless Bluetooth pairing, more bass, which I need, and a more compact design that gives you a nice noise isolating fit. They also come in new fun colors. Make sure to click the link in the description below to get 15%. Yeah, it's a percent. We're offering you a percentage. 15% off your order of Ercan earbuds. My fruity cereal cake tier looks great. I'm gonna move on to my second tier, and the donut cereal is kind of like just little balls with sprinkles on top. So I've decided to do horizontal lines just because I like to torture myself. So what I'm going to do is I'm gonna start at the bottom of the cake and line them all up. And then I'm just using a piece of washi, which is like Japanese masking tape, sort of as my marker. I'm gonna put it backward on the cake and then line up the next line. The reason I'm using this is it's easy to remove and it's the exact right thickness that I'm looking for. If you guys make this cake, of course, you can use any cereal you like, not Raisin Bran. But you can line it up any way you want, create whatever patterns you like. I'm gonna place my cakes in the fridge to chill before I stack one on top of the other. And in the meantime, I wanna make a milk splash. I've blown up some little mini balloons and I've steadied them in some little cups. And basically what I'm gonna do is place my melted chocolate in a piping bag. You want it to be melted, but not so hot that it will pop the balloon. And then kind of like a drip cake, I'm gonna go around and drip the chocolate around the balloon. They'll take about 20 minutes to set at room temperature, or you can pop them in the fridge if it's really humid where you are. But you definitely wanna make sure they're 100% set. And rather than pop them, because it's such a jolt, I don't want the chocolate to crack, I'm just gonna use scissors and sort of cut near the knot at the top of the balloon, where the balloon is thicker, and let the air just sort of squeak out slowly. You know that sound. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I need to place dowels in this cake to hold up the second cake. I'll very carefully remove my second tier, pick it up quickly, and center it on the bottom. It sounds weird to say, but this cake really smells like cereal. Like every time I opened the fridge, I was like, whoa, and you don't think of cereal as having a strong smell. It really smelled like cereal. All new membership items are here, and our theme for the month of June is the movie Grease. You can join the sweetest club around and get this Cake Ladies baseball tee, as well as our Summer Sprinkling and Cake Lightning Sprinkle Medley. We're not singing? Summer Sprinkling had me a blast.
I don't know the next one.
What? If you're looking to get into baking, maybe you want to start by making some gorgeous cookies, or maybe you do want to make a mega cake with me. We have a lot of live tutorial options for you. Just head to the link in the description below to check them out. Thank you again to Ercan for sponsoring this video. Can't get enough cake? Check this out. Okay, ready? Summer sprinkling had me a blast.
Summer sprinkling happened so fast.
This is amazing. I met a cake crazy for me. We won't continue.